So I come from a very religious household, and we follow Jainism.
Jainism?
Yeah, if you can pull that up, Puneet, eventually, yeah. It's a very different branch of religion, and
Jen with a G. J.
Jain ism, and yeah. So
Why have I never heard of this? It's crazy.
it's a very small percentage in the world, and it's a very minority. We believe in no harm to others. Vegan religion. It's a vegetarian religion. No meat, no. So, it's an ancient Indian religion founded on principles of non-violence, asceticism, and karma to achieve spiritual liberation called moksha. Centered on respecting all life, flowers, follow 24 spiritual leaders. Yeah, we have teachers, 24 teachers, thousands and thousands of years ago. And I do believe, and this is my belief, I could be wrong, that it branched out of Buddhism at some point. And yeah, very small minority. If we can go to images real quick. So this is our gurus, similar to what you see in Buddhism. You might get confused and think that's a Buddha statue, right? Or
Okay, yeah.
this one. So, but it's a different. If we can pull this picture, Puneet. The reason they're wearing this white thing in front of him, I'll explain that to you, is because in Jainism, it's believed that the air that we breathe out kills microbes or organisms. So that's what they wear this, thinking that we don't even want to kill microorganisms in this world, and
Got it.
want to live in harmony with everything around us. So
They're like ahead of their time. They're ready for COVID.
they don't even take baths because they think there's microbes in what do you call water. And now that the science has said, oh, there is organisms living in water and whatnot. So yeah, it's a very, very interesting religion if you look into it. And I've been vegetarian all my life because of this religious norm that we had, core principle that you don't kill anything to eat. And
So as a vegetarian, I was at one of my clients, Friggs Meats, buying meat, and there was a guy there that was a brand new meat eater, and he was asking me, he's like, "Oh, what are you buying?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'm just buying like pork and beef, and I'm just buying some random stuff." I'm like, "Why is this guy asking me?" He's like, "Oh, I used to be a vegetarian, but I was having health problems and not getting my nutrients. And then I had some fish and I felt like so much better. And then I started eating eggs for the first time and kind of like dabbling with meat and realizing that my health problems were going away." So he must have been doing vegetarianism wrong. But have you ever found that there's like a tough balance to get the nutrients?
It's hard for me to differentiate because I've never been a meat eater myself.
You've never, still to this day.
Till day, I haven't had any meat, any sort of meat. But what I can
You're
tell,
doing fine, obviously.
and
So
what I can tell you from my vegetarian experience is, yes, there will be some nutrients that you might lack because modern day life, you're not able to get all the nutrients out of plants or whatnot. And our diets have been heavily compromised with processed food and whatnot.
yes,
Right? That doesn't matter if you're a vegetarian, meat eater, whatnot. And yes, I do have some autoimmune situations where I get, my body is unable to, what do you call, absorb vitamin D. And we're all vitamin D deficient because we live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. A lot of sun here. So, but I'm coping fine. Yeah. I've been able to do well for myself. I take care of my health. I try to.
Yep.
I'm not a perfect or not a biohacker by any means, but
So when you say that you have a problem absorbing vitamin D,
that's what I think. I haven't been diagnosed with
Okay.
anything. This is all my,
got it.
yeah.
So when you say that, do you mean that you're not getting enough, or when you take vitamin D, it can't?
Both. So
Both.
I'm not able to get enough, first of all, but because I have this thing where my body inflames and causes psoriasis, if you've heard of it.
Yeah, like rashes.
The rashes and all that. But I've also found out when I was in Mexico for 15, 20 days, none of it. Maybe,
So could be the dryness here,
could be the dryness here, it could be more sun in Mexico.
more sun.
More sun. And there could be, again, my thought, less GMO,
Less GMO, more natural foods,
more
less
natural
processed
foods,
foods.
right? So I wonder that how much part that plays into
Probably
culmination of all.
33% each, or
Yeah.
who knows? It probably all plays a bit of a part.
That's true. I'll tell you one more interesting part about Jainism. And you might be interested in this. And we don't eat anything that is grown underground. So no onions, no potatoes, no
No carrots.
carrots. A lot of gets cancelled out. A lot of. Being a vegetarian is already so limiting.
Yeah.
And then you have this rule. A lot of Jains don't follow the religion to the T, right? But
I mean, no one's perfect. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone of any religion follows everything to a T. Otherwise, they're a hypocrite.
so yeah.
That's fascinating. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I've been dabbling with vitamin intake and diet and fasting. Fasting is something I've been getting into lately.
How long do you fast for the intermittent?
So, yeah, intermittent fasting. So I try to not eat 2 to 4 hours before bed.
Okay. Have you had any breakfast this morning?
Nope.
No? Okay.
This coffee you gave me was actually the first food I had because there's one milk in that coffee, but usually I have been drinking just black coffee in the mornings, which is actually the worst part about it is I miss having my cappuccinos in the morning. I have a nice coffee machine maker at home and I used to make really good cappuccinos, and now I don't eat my first meal of the day until around between 12 and 2 o'clock.
Interesting. Yeah. I haven't had anything since morning myself. I usually go till 3, 2 without food, and then from 2 to 6 or 2 to 8, I'll have my 3 meals, try to get my calories because I'm trying to get big too at the same time.
Yep.
But what I've found with intermittent fasting, and you can probably attest to that, is I have more focus when I'm doing this podcast or trying to make some decisions.
Yep.
I have more focus, more clarity, and I can think through things. I can see through things much better
Yep.
in my experience.
I agree. How long have you been doing that for?
It's on and off. So I'm not a stickler about it.
Okay.
What I mean by that is, okay, if someday I'm getting out with him on a breakfast, let's say, I won't, worry about it.
Yep.
I'll have a breakfast at 10 sometimes, but what I'll do is restrict myself after 6 then.
Okay.
So my window changes. I'm not super into it. If it happens, it happens. I've designed my routine in a way that it happens automatically. I haven't had anything since morning. So,
Yep.
yeah.
For me, it's a struggle at nighttime because I like to snack at night. Ever since I was a kid, maybe a healthy snack, maybe not healthy snack, but I just like to snack before bed. So that's the biggest challenge for me is not eating after 6, 7. 6, 7.
That's a new thing. It's 6, 7, 6, 7.
Or as my daughter says, 6, 7. So yeah, I've just been doing the intermittent fasting, like fasting 16 to 18 hours a day, because when we sleep, we're fasting for 8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
And then what's the first thing we do when we wake up?
Break the fast. Break fast.
Break the fast with eating when we need to fast more. Our body is like, what are you doing to me? I need another 6-hour fast. And then the Western culture is built off of breakfast and going out to eat for breakfast. Yeah, abundance and waste.
Yeah, and you'll be surprised. I was thinking about it. We don't have, in Western world or in the first world nations, you don't have problem of scarcity. And most of the diseases are not because of scarcity. It's because of abundance.
Yes.
Cancer itself is abundance of cells in a particular area that causes cancer, and it's not been, the body hasn't been able to replenish, clear out the old weak cells that and it accumulates. And I'll tell you one more interesting part. Jainism was able to do this all before the science told us fasting. We have the 7-day water fast in Jainism that we do every year.
Okay, so you guys have a 7-day water fast once a
Water
year.
fast every year.
So you did that growing up.
I haven't done that ever. My parents did. I've seen my parents doing 1 meal a day. And this was part of the religious fasting. So these religions have been able to find all this before science got to it.
Yeah, it's true. A couple weeks ago, I did a 3-day fast,
Okay.
which was my first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
And
How did you feel?
The first day was just hungry. When I cooked food for my kids, that was the most challenging part because I smelled this. My senses were stronger, so I could smell things way more powerfully than before. And that was like the biggest challenge, just cooking dinner for my kids each night. And then going to bed on an empty stomach was also weird. Just knowing that you didn't eat anything all day and you're not going to eat anything tomorrow, and very weird. But after the first like 24 hours, I stopped being hungry. I wasn't hungry at all. It was easy. Out of sight, out of mind.